Okay, part 3 of Thailand. So we're talking about the mushroom club, the mushy club. And yeah, so I was dancing and smoking weed as well with this lad that we met who was actually from East London, so we was chatting about a couple of stuff. So I lived in East London a while back, and a lot of my ancestors are from East London on my mum's side. So anyway, we're dancing and Josh started saying, "Can you see her? Can you see her?" And I was like, "Who?" And he was like, the candy skull woman. And this woman, I looked at this woman and I was like, "Oh, it's Santa Morte." And she was like a candy skull. And this girl we was with who wasn't taking mushrooms. She was actually on MDMA though. I don't know. She got hold of that through the bar, but I was like, no, like cannabis, mushrooms, but nothing hard. You know, I was 16 once. I've got it out. I've got all that shit out of my system now. And she was like, "Who are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, it's Santa Morte. She'd just come to party with us." And she was like, "Right, okay." I was like, "Just dance." So anyway, there was, where we was, it was breathtaking. There was the cliff and you could see this mountain and you could see the stars, and where the sun was starting to rise, you could see, I basically saw Aurora Borealis, like I saw the Northern Lights. And to me, it was Godhead. It was the breath of God. And I feel like choked up about it a bit, because it was beautiful, and I was dancing to this like light, like the Northern Lights. I was dancing in the breath of God, and everything felt amazing. Like everything was God. Everything where I looked, everything was God. You, me, everything was connected, and it's what I believe anyway. Godhead. And then I started to see webs, and the whole trip corresponded to my spiritual beliefs, but also tied in with the spirit of place of Thailand, because I did do a couple of exercises when I was away of actually trying to merge with the land, but it was so different from Britain. It's so different. But I did sort of merge with the land and have very intense dreams, specifically about Naga spirits as well in certain islands, and I'm terrified of snakes. But yeah, anyway, back to the party trip. And I saw, after the breath of God, I saw a web, and this web went right from the earth right up, but it didn't just do that. It connected me to that oil burner over there. It connected me to you. It connected me to the sky and me to the tree. Everything was connected, and I had this feeling that no matter what, if I died, if I OD'd on shrooms, and if I died flat dead cold, it didn't matter. Nothing mattered, because it was the web of weird. It was the web of fate, and that was the way it was meant to happen, and everything would be okay. And everything would be okay because everything is set out in the web of weird. And then I saw that I could influence other people's webs, so I could shake other people's webs, and I saw that as using magic to influence people, and changing their web of fate. And it was incredible. It was divine, it was spiritual, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And we got to the bar and I was like sweating, and there was this old British hippie guy, like, oh, and he was sweating his tits off, and I looked at him and I was like, fucking hell. And he looked at me and he was like, ugh. And I was like, and it hurt. And he was like, ugh. And I was sweating. And I remember Josh saying, "Take your top off, like, you're so cold." And I was like, sweating out. And he took my top off. I sound like such a baghead here, by the way. Like, I sound like such a smackhead. But I feel like I have to tell you this because it's what happened. It's what I done. And I do not regret it, because it was incredible. And we was at the bar, and everything was so hot. And you know when you see heat from a distance and you see like the shimmer? I saw like heat and it turned orange and yellow, and all of a sudden everything went like, and it just went like everything was on fire. Everything was on fire, and from the bar there was like snakes, like snakes on fire, serpenting out on fire, and then Thai like bodhisattva spirits like coming out like that, but like on fire, you know, like Thai spirits like that, like on fire. And it was, I think I cried. Like, it was beautiful, and I'm terrified of snakes, and it was amazing. But the come down was horrific. I was convinced that everybody wanted to kill me because I was gay, and I was really paranoid. So I don't regret doing mushrooms, but I will never ever do them again. It even put me off my joint at the end of the thing, which is a lot. You know, for a party, for me to be like, no more cannabis. It's, you know, it's a lot. But yeah, so that happened, and the cliffs where we were in, like the place we was in, was so scenic and so naturally beautiful, and everything was so natural. And there's so much stuff, like cliff jumping. I jumped off a cliff into the water, and that was terrifying. It was the Grand Canyon in Chiang Mai, and we jumped off a cliff, and it was so high, and you have a good 5 seconds to think about what you've done once you've jumped. And I jumped, and the first thought I thought was, I shouldn't have done that. And then everything just went to jelly, and it bitch slapped me as well when I went in. I was like, bang! And I couldn't hear properly for like a day afterwards, but it was incredible. Josh was scared to jump until the whole canyon like done a countdown, and then he had no other option. Like, he had to jump. But yeah, we met some incredible people as well, incredible souls, just amazing people. I can't tell you what I've done in a whole month, and it's frustrating because I can only tell you bits of what I've done. I've initially tried to start to go from the beginning, but I just can't, because it's too much, and it's so much has happened in a month. Like, travelling is exhausting. It was so exhausting, but so worth it. I have learned so much, and I've actually learned how I work with the spirits as well. Like, people in Thailand are constant, the way they work with their spirits, the way every day, new change of water, every day flowers, every day new things. And it was cool because they had a lot of Ganesha shrines. And I practice traditional witchcraft, and I keep this completely separate from traditional witchcraft, and I don't like mixing traditions. But I had a Ganesha, there was loads of Ganesha shrines, but I have worked with Ganesha on and off for years. Not a lot of people know it apart from my close friends. But I have worked with Ganesha for years on and off. And so it was nice to do offerings in a place where the shrines were beautiful, the temples were beautiful. Thailand is an amazing place, but I feel that because it's such a poor country, some of the people will just rob you and mug you, and it lets it down a bit. It does let it down. And I'm not saying every Thai person is out to rob or mug you, because that is just plain racist. But I will say that there are you have to be careful, because there are a lot of people that do want to. There are certain points that are very, very frightening. And I was very challenged and very frightened. And actually, at the time, I didn't have a familiar spirit, and things have changed now. But being in a place where everyone had their own spirits of their own house, like every house had a miniature house outside for the spirits, and it made me feel a little bit powerless. It made me miss my craft, but it made me feel powerless because I didn't have a familiar spirit. I did have technically a familiar spirit, but a maid spirit. And I think when somebody has a familiar spirit, it's my view that a lot of the time a familiar spirit that you've had a relationship with for some while, that is either given to you, or that you have, you have inherited tends to be a lot more powerful than one you have made. Now, that's not to say that familiar spirits you make aren't valid and aren't powerful, because they really are. In fact, the familiar spirit I made, I had a bit of a thing in Pyre, which is a massive hippie village. It's cool, it's very cool. But there are a lot of people that are very pretentious there. You know, a lot of people that are just a little bit more spiritual than you, and you're like, oh, fuck off. You know, I can't deal with that shit. But there are some very, very cool people. I do tend to like hippies. I am a hippie, massive hippie at heart. I would never wear this, by the way, normally in Britain, but this is literally what I was wearing in Thailand. So I'm doing the video, and I think it's only right so that I dress like this while I'm doing the video, so you kind of can get a bit of a picture. But yeah, we rented out a motorcycle, and we don't have a driving licence in England. And you just give a cash deposit and you get it back at the end of it. And I made my spirit, and her name was called Aya, and it means, it's a muffled translation for guardian spirit in Thai, which made a lot of sense to me. And I was thinking, and the biker was like, Aya, protect me and Josh, protect us, because I thought, I work a lot with the spirits of the land, so if I'm going to work with the spirits of the land, it makes sense for me to adopt, to actually, you know, if I'm creating a spirit, it makes sense for me to incorporate that culture to that place we're going into that spirit. And anyway, and I looked ahead, and Josh's helmet, Josh's head helmet said Aya on it, and I looked at mine and it said Aya, and the place was called Aya Travel, which I found a very, very cool synchronisation. And yeah, we was fine. I cut my foot like a couple of times, but I'm not dead. Josh isn't dead, and that's what it was for ultimately. We got robbed, but they had a Kumantong, you know, their shit was packing a lot more stronger than mine at the time, you know. I didn't have a familiar spirit at that time because a lot of stuff happened within my craft. But yeah, so basically, on a last thing, I want to say that we went to Elephant Sanctuary, and I want to get this out here because I feel that this is very, very important for anybody that travels to Thailand. Do not ride elephants. Period. Do not ride elephants. It is completely unethical. A lot of the times elephants in these camps and sanctuaries, and I saw them chained up, and it was fucking disgusting. These elephants are overworked, day in, day out, overnight, all the time, 12 hours at a time, and you see them, and we passed them on the motorcycle, and I made a point of telling people, don't, like, this is bad, and you saw tears coming down their eyes. And so me and Josh went to a sanctuary, an actual sanctuary, because a lot of the sanctuaries aren't sanctuaries. They engage in rituals where basically they just diminish the elephant's spirit by beating it, starving it, thirsting it, horrific shit, horrific stuff, chaining it. And we went to a place called the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary, and they had a strict no riding policy. No chains, no riding, no cruelty. They weren't chained up, they was on a field, and it was incredible. They run to you and you can see the joy in their eye. And they are amazing, beautiful animals. They're so clumsy though. Like literally we was mud bathing them, and there was this huge one, and it was just in a mud bath and went and I was like, whoa! But they love the water, they love the mud, they're treated well, they're not beaten, no one has a stick, no one hurts them. The Elephant Jungle Sanctuary, go to Facebook, like their page please, because companies and organisations like that in Thailand need so much more reinforcement, need so much more help, because the riding elephants, that's when people, you know, tourism overtakes certain parts of Thailand, and that leads to suffering for the animals. So please, the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary Facebook, like their page, share their page please, because I really do want to raise awareness about these guys, because they were amazing, and they're in Chiang Mai. And I took Josh there for his birthday because he loves elephants. And I had purposely sorted out a sanctuary that was actually a sanctuary. But yeah. So, on a wrap, I hope I haven't come across like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, like fucking prick 2000. What, 2016? Jesus. But, you know, like, I hope I haven't come across like this, but it's literally because I just feel like I need to get this out here. I will put pictures of some of the spirit shrines on my Shadow Boy Facebook page as well. But it's made me realise so much about my own life, like, in my career at the moment, and there are some things seriously wrong with that, and I'm not doing it anymore. There is no way I am putting up with it anymore. I'm not happy in my current career at all. I work like 12 hours a day sometimes. I slave away for nothing for a company that takes the living, and I'm not going to say what company it is because that's just dumb, but I feel like I need to express this. I work for a company that takes the piss out of me, and it is what I love. It's in a gym, it's fitness, it's group exercise, I love that. But it's too much. I'm slaving away for them. They cut my hours, so I'm having to work another job just to force that. Fitness is my love. Witchcraft is my passion, as you guys probably know when I speak about witchcraft. Man, it's just like, I love it so much. And I'm going to create an online shop. So hold tight, watch this space, because things are going to change. Things are going to change for me for this year, because there's no way on earth I'm living like that anymore. I'm not doing it. So Thailand has taught me a lot, and it's actually taught me a lot about my craft, because a lot of the times, the past couple of months before, I was having to put my craft on a hold. Nah, sorry, it's not happening anymore. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'll get round to it. It'll be hard, it'll be tough, and I'll build up to it. But I'll create my own business. But don't worry, this channel will not be George's Feelings Direct. This channel will be a channel about traditional witchcraft. However, I feel like these videos, these experiences, I want to record them because I don't want to lose them. And a lot of people are like, please tell me about Thailand. So here I am telling you guys. But over and out, I've chatted so much shit. Over and out. Peace. And yeah, as they say in Thailand, Sawadee Cup, which means thank you.